This article is from stlouistoday.com. So I'm gonna get right into it. Okay, I'm gonna get right into it. Okay, here's the title of this article, and I'm gonna put the author's name in the description box. But former Sweetie Pie's TV star Tim Norman gets 2 life sentences in Nephew's death. Okay, I'm gonna show you the pictures. If y'all don't know what he looked like, that's him right there standing behind his mother, Robbie Montgomery, the tall man standing right behind her. Let me see. Okay. I'm gonna get right to the article. I was looking at these pictures. Sorry. But St. Louis former St. Louis reality TV star James Tim Norman was sentenced to 2 life sentences Thursday for orchestrating a plot to kill his nephew that featured fraudulent life insurance policies, cash payouts, and years of cover-ups. U.S. District Judge John A. Ross sentenced Norman to life sentences on 2 murder-for-hire counts Thursday morning, calling the evidence at trial overwhelming. Proof that Norman masterminded the March 2014 St. Louis killing of his 21-year-old nephew, Andre Montgomery. It was a cold blooded, incredibly premeditated, planned execution of your nephew, Ross said before sentencing. That's Tim right there in the orange suit, in his prison suit. A jury found Norman guilty in a September trial that captured national attention. Both Norman and his nephew starred in Welcome to Sweetie Pies, a long running own reality show about the popular soul food business founded by Robbie Montgomery, Norman's mother and Andrew's grandmother in the St. Louis area. Several of Montgomery's family members, including his mother, Mitchell Griggs, asked in court Thursday that Norman be sentenced to life. His said, "Not just my family." Witnesses during the trial testified Norman hired his nephew's shooter, Travell Anthony Hill, for $5,000 and paid $10,000 to an exotic dancer, Terica Ellis, to lure Montgomery to his death in North St. Louis. Prosecutors presented evidence that Norman then attempted to cash out up to $450,000 in a fraudulent life insurance policy he took out on Montgomery and told Ellis to stay quiet. Norman declined to speak on his own behalf in court Thursday, but he claimed his innocence in a recent social media post. His attorney submitted several letters from family and friends asking for leniency on his behalf before sentencing, including from Norman's mother and founder of the Sweetie Pies restaurants, Robbie Montgomery. "I am writing to you to ask for mercy for my son as a mother. I am devastated that my son has been accused and convicted of the crimes," Robbie Montgomery wrote the judge. "He's guilty, Robbie. What are you talking about? He is guilty. He did this to your grandson." Ugh. Anyway, she added that her older son was killed when Norman was 15 years old. Norman's father was also deleted when he was a child. "I don't know whether Tim did what he was accused and convicted of," she wrote. He is still the baby that I bore, and I love him as every mother involved loves their child. Norman broke into tears several times during 4 hours of trial testimony, telling the jury he enlisted Ellis and Hill to find his nephew but not kill him. He said he wanted to confront Montgomery about a recent burglary at his mother's home. You didn't need to get other people involved to do that. You could have found that boy yourself, coward. Ellis was sentenced to 3 years in prison last month after pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit murder for hire in the case. Hill pleaded guilty to two murder for hire counts and was sentenced to 32 years in prison in October. Good for your ass. Norman's defense attorney Mike Leonard argued in court Thursday that a life sentence for Norman would be disproportionate. He will serve double or more the time of the individual who said he shot Andre of his own accord, Leonard said. Attorney U.S. Assistant U.S. Attorney Angie Danis responded that Hill would not have offed Montgomery if it wasn't for Norman. Norman presented a successful face to the public, Danis told the judge, but was far more sinister underneath. Okay, that's the end of the article, but I think I have to play a few videos right quick. Hold on, no, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna play them. Nope, I'm gonna go right into giving my commentary. Hold on, give me a second. Come on. 60-mile range. When it comes to EVs, we're thinking of every mile. Okay, no, I'm not gonna play anything. But that was the end of the article. I just want to say good for Tim, or good for Andre. He's getting justice, and his mother is getting justice for her son. Tim is getting exactly what he deserved. Tim, bad body built Norman, is getting exactly what he deserved. He need to be behind bars for the rest of his life for what he did to his nephew or had done to him. And the other people, Terica and the other dude who was involved, I'm glad he got sentenced already. Terica, I think she got sentenced too. I forgot how much time she getting, but she's behind bars too. So Tim, your little plan backfired in your face big time. You was greedy. You don't have a you don't have a soul. You don't have a conscience. How dare you do something like that to your nephew? I mean, that boy looked up to you. He respected you. He cared for you like a father figure, and then you sit up there and arrange for that boy to be deleted like that. If you had a problem or thought that he broke in or had anything to do with the burglary at Robbie's house, you and Robbie should have both talked to him. You should have asked him. You know what I'm saying? You don't get other people involved to get him or lure him into a trap or into lure him into getting hurt. I mean, how could you do that? You know what I'm saying? Big as you are, you didn't need nobody to help you find Andre. You could have found him on your own and talked to him. Which I don't believe. I mean, I believe, yeah, you probably wanted to confront him, but you also thought that he did it. You thought that he had something to do with your mother's house getting robbed, so you wanted to make him pay for it. And you also wanted to collect insurance money for fake insurance that you put out on that boy. You shouldn't put out no insurance on your nephew. That ain't your place. That's not your call to make. You would do anything for money, and I'm glad you didn't get none of that money. You know, you got maybe you got enough or had enough money to pay that dude to delete your nephew and paid that stripper to lure him, which is $15,000, 10 for her and 5 for the shooter. But still, like I said, you getting exactly what you commit the crime, you do the time. I don't feel sorry for you. And Miss Robbie, you are blind. I know you a senior citizen. I know you in your 80s, but your son did what they're accusing him of, ma'am. He did those things. And he can cry werewolf, werewolf all he want to. He's the werewolf. He's the devil. He's the demon that came up with that plan to get rid of your nephew or your grandson because he was jealous. Either he was jealous or well, really, Tim had a lot going for himself. He had, you had given him your business. You passed your business down to him, and he didn't value your business. He wanted to create multiple sweetie pie restaurants and didn't run them right. He should have kept the few that you and him had, and ran them. But he wanted to be greedy. He wanted to open up businesses and didn't even make money. That's dumb. You should have kept the two big restaurant or the few restaurants that you had and that was making money. But like I said, his greed got the best of him, and that's a deadly sin. That's one of the 7 deadly sins is greed. And so he sinned by being greedy. And he was lusting after that money. That's what he was lusting after, that money, and wanted all the money he can get, but wasn't willing to work for it. But instead, you're gonna sit up there and get a life insurance, a fake life insurance on your nephew and have him delete it. That's your family. I mean, you definitely did not care about your family. You didn't love your family. And a decent human being wouldn't have never did that. And good for you, Janae, because Janae and Tim was engaged. They was together on the show. That was his girlfriend at one time, and him and her got a baby together. I'm glad that Janae got away from Tim and did not let him see the baby, and won't let him see the baby because you don't need to let him see your child, girl. For real, keep your child as far away from Tim as possible. And Robbie, you didn't do the best job looking out for Andre. You kind of failed him in a way. You know what I'm saying? So you sit up there and trusted Tim. And then after Andre got deleted, Tim was gonna put out an insurance policy on you, allegedly, and try to off you, delete you, so he can get money out of insurance, or he can get insurance money off of you. So like I said, I don't know why. I know that's your son, but like I said, honey, you don't need to be showing him so much grace. He don't deserve it. He played you like a soybean burger. He played you, and he played your whole family. So like I said, you need to let him suffer the consequences for his actions. I know that's your son, but sometimes you need to let your children go when they wrong, especially when they wrong like this. And I know it's hard for you, but you got other family members that love and care about you, that you can focus on. Because if your son is willing to get rid of your grandson, your deceased son's child, your oldest son, his child, then he don't deserve no mercy from you. You can love him you can love him as your son, but you don't need to be having nothing to do with him. Like, no, you need to disown him because he's a full grown man and he knew what he was doing. So, like I said, Miss Robbie, wake up and smell the coffee and get a clue. Tim did arrange for your grandson to be deleted. He arranged that to happen. He set it up. So, like I said, Tim, in this case, I'm just gonna say, Tim is proven, or this situation is proven that family can be your worst enemy. And he was Andre's worst enemy. He was his worst enemy. He was. Because, like I said, this guy don't deserve no sympathy. He don't deserve no mercy from nobody. And you better hope them guys in there. Oh, matter of fact, he need to get ready to give up that honey love to them guys in prison. He better get ready for that because they gonna tag team him. They gonna gain up on him. They gonna make a sweetie. They gonna call him they sweetie pie. He gonna be they sweetie pie. You know, they gonna make a sweetie pie out of him for sure. They gonna bend him over and they gonna leave him stuck with a gut full of sweetie pie nut. That's what they gonna do. They gonna get him good. And they might beat his butt for what he did to his nephew. I mean, that young man had a long life ahead of him, and you ruined his life. You took his life over some money. Over some money. And I'm gonna show y'all what the victim looked like if I can find his picture. I probably let me see. I think I can show you a picture of what he looked like. Wait a minute. I think this is the shooter right here. This might be the shooter right here who hurt Andre. This might be the shooter. Oh, wait a minute. I think that was Andre with braids. I think that might have been the victim. Yeah, that might have been him. I'm sorry, y'all. That might not have been the shooter. That might have been Andre. But I know this was Andre right here when he was on the show. That's him. That's the victim. That other picture, that first picture, I think that was him with braids. So my bad. But yeah, like I said, y'all know what Tim looked like. I showed y'all two pictures of him earlier in the video. But like I said, Tim, you deserve. There's a cold place in hell for you, a special, or should I say, a special place in hell for you. May you rot in it. Cause like I said, throw you. I mean, we just need to throw him away because you're canceled. You know, anybody that's willing to go that far for money, willing to hurt your own family, your own nephew for money, something is seriously wrong with you. You didn't learn your lesson from being in prison the first time because he was as kind. He was in prison before, I think, for 10 years, but I got forgot what it was. Why I forgot why he was in there, but he was in there before. And then he got out and was on this show helping Robbie with her restaurants that she had in St. Louis. And then she passed the business on down to him, and the business went down the drain, just like Tim did. His greed took over, caused him to go down the drain along with the business. He went down the drain and he took the business down, the restaurant down with him. But like I said, what goes around comes around, and Tim, you will get yours. Trust me, you already getting yours with these two life sentences. But probably more is yet to come. So pray that you survive and that you live to serve these two sentences and that the men don't do nothing to you behind bars. I don't want nothing to happen to you. You know, I'm not gonna pray anything bad or wish anything bad on you, but if anything happens, that's you put yourself in a position for it to happen. Because you could have been a free man, but you decided to ruin your own life and mess up your own freedom by being greedy by wanting money. See, money in your case is the rule of all evil. Not for everybody, just for you. So, like I said, I'm done talking about that man. But anyway, I hope you all like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and you all have a good night and enjoy the rest of your week and weekend. Peace.